Hello, and welcome to Please Excuse My Dead Aunt Sally, the show where I drink an entire bottle of NyQuil and talk to the jar full of change on my dresser. Today I want to start by thanking everyone for the feedback and great reception. Please take a moment and leave a quick review on iTunes or Stitcher. The show will continue in two formats: question and answer episodes and adventure days. Today is an adventure day with Suzy. If you have a problem with the adventure episodes, head over to Libsyn.com and start your own fucking show. Suzy has been sober for 1 year longer than she's been alive and is a big fan of mailboxes. She makes her own 9-volt batteries and has never met a business card that she didn't fall in love with. Suzy and I met up recently for a hot boot camp class. It was hot, and we were not allowed to wear boots. We all agreed the teacher was dreamy. Well, I agreed toward the end when I was just kind of laying there, struggling to breathe. But once we recovered, we got together and talked it through. It's recording. Oh, look, it has the little icon that runs while it's recording.
I remember cassette tapes.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So, we didn't die today.
Oh, we did not, but it was a close one.
We did our first hot boot camp class today.
Hot boot camp kicked me in the boot.
So it was yoga, Pilates, and kettlebells with burpees and mountain climbers and a bunch of other stuff that I tapped out halfway through.
You hung in there pretty long. The only reason I was able to maintain without tapping out is I was doing the grandma modified versions. Do you remember that show, Hooked on Aerobics? It was made in like the early 80s, maybe late 70s. And they'd have the people exercising, and they were on 3 different tiers, and there was always like that last tier that was barely moving.
I feel like I remember that, and I had no idea that had a name.
I'm feeling good. Get up and move. Something like that.
Was that the actual song?
Yeah. That was its intro song.
Is that what we were doing?
No, you know what? That was a really pointless ramble just to say that I was doing very easy modified steps. Otherwise, I would have been passed out on the floor.
So we drank a ton of water. We stretched. We did some pretty basic stuff. And at first, I had asked, like, oh, well, does it stay like this temperature? Because I can do this for an hour. And everybody told me, no, it gets pretty oppressive in here pretty quickly.
He had the door open a crack in the beginning. Did you notice that? And that's why it didn't feel quite so bad. And then he shut that door, and it was like, uh-oh.
And what do you say, 90 to 100 degrees and 40% humidity.
Mm-hmm.
And, I like to think that I'm a badass with some kettlebell swings and kettlebell exercises. And then I'm trying to do it while there's sweat dripping from every part of me. And I felt like a little bitch for part of it.
What sick, sadistic person invented exercising in the heat? When did this concept come about? Who was sitting around and said, you know what would make exercise even more enjoyable? If we were miserable while we did it. Hot, sweaty, feeling like you're going to throw up, seeing stars. Just kidding. I loved it. It feels really good. Your muscles feel nice and loose. And
so it was a 1-hour class, and
was that all?
It was 1 hour. I went about 45 minutes before I really felt like I couldn't do it, and then I took a little break, just laid on the mat. I got up and tried to do just a couple things here and there, but most of the next 15 minutes was me just enjoying that feeling like you're about to pass out. It's always great. It's always a good feeling. I really messed up because when I first got in there, I said, oh, that's smart, they don't have a clock in here. And then somewhere around 35 minutes, I identified that there was actually a clock in the room, and that's why I don't wear watches. Like, I don't want to know what time it is. It just distracts me.
Watch the minutes tick by painfully, oppressively slow. Like, what? It's only been 3 minutes since I last looked at the clock.
What was your favorite exercise today?
I really enjoyed that one kettlebell move where you're standing and you hold it in your right hand and then you dip to the side and it stretches your back and your side muscles. It felt really good and it was not too difficult for me to do.
Cool.
What was yours?
I enjoyed the modified kettlebell swings where we were doing a snatch and then an overhead press with it. I feel like I've done that before, but I got a really good stretch, and I felt really good doing it today.
That one was hard.
You've done hot yoga before?
Yeah. Back in the days, there used to be a movement. It was Bikram yoga. And that's how I started out doing it. I was living in Orange County at the time, and I found a Bikram yoga studio, and I didn't know anything about it, and I just sort of wandered in, and I couldn't even sit through the room the first time. Bikram, they keep it even hotter, and you do the same practice. It's the same, I can't remember how many poses, but you do the same poses every single time you go, so there's no variation of it. And I got to where I was doing that twice a week, and I got so that I could sit through the heat the whole time and was feeling pretty good. And then when I moved back to Las Vegas, I found this studio, which is now Vegas Hot, but it used to be Bikram Vegas or Vegas Bikram. But then there was this weird scandal around Bikram, the guy who came up with the practice, and now you don't see Bikram studios anymore. I'm going to have to find out what the story is. I think it's some sort of like sexual harassment type scenario. Oh, I should not be making those accusations without researching first, but there's something weird happened around Bikram and around all the studios that involve Bikram, and yeah, you just don't see Bikram studios anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Topic for the next class.
Yeah. Will you be coming to the next class?
I think so.
I don't know just yet if I can make it next week, but if I can, I think I'll give it a shot. I could probably do this for a little while. I'd like to at least try to make it through doing all the movements for the entire hour.
It's a good goal to work towards.
And so now we're sitting here and you're eating Twizzlers.
Well, we went and had that super healthy lunch. I just, this is me keeping it real, dog. Keeping it real. They
stress on the package, all in lowercase letters. It says low-fat snack.
There's hardly any fat in it at all.
Interesting.
However, there's 140 calories.
17 grams of sugar.
17 grams of sugar.
In how many? In 2 Twizzlers. Okay. Good to know.
I've just eaten 1. So now I'm going in for number 2. To be clear, they're not the traditional Twizzlers. It's the pull and pill.
Ah.
So you can pull and have like a little skinny guy right there.
Okay. And then you can put that in like MyFitnessPal or something as like a 0.2 of one serving. Okay.
I mean, this is what you have to eat after you have a nut patty with hummus. The raw burger.
Were you being adventurous, or is that something that you would typically like to eat?
I was being adventurous.
Okay.
But it was good. It was good. It's not something I will ever see myself craving, but I would definitely eat it again. It was healthy. It was filling. I was hungry. Now I'm not. Mission accomplished.
Fantastic.
But I don't see myself ever waking up at 2 in the morning saying, oh my gosh, I could go for one of those raw burgers right now.
Only if you say it like that.
Only if I say it like Kim Kardashian.
Raw.
Like one of those raw burgers, vocal fry, yeah.
Cool. So I'll see you back here next week, probably?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Sweet. And maybe we can see if we can get an instructor, or if we can do a before and after, a little talk with us and see how we feel.
That sounds like a plan.
Sweet.
I'll be there.
See you, Suze.
Bye.
Well, that was fun. That's going to be it for the show today. Thank you for listening. Join us next week when Suzy does the string cheese challenge, which I just made up but I am certain will catch on. Music for today's show was Lobby Time by Kevin MacLeod. Follow the show on Instagram at Please Excuse My Dead Aunt Sally.
Hey, you're a fucking idiot. We're all doing that. Bye-bye.